Cybertruck, arguably the most anticipated and controversial pickup truck today. Despite having yet to be released, Tesla's long-awaited pickup EV has already divided public opinion.
If you're a farmer, where the heck you go charge this thing?
The Cybertruck to me seems like stillborn. I just think it's going to be a bit of a bust.
That is the coolest vehicle I've ever seen in person in my life.
I want one. I think they're nuts, and I think it would be a lot of fun to drive a tank.
The Cybertruck is polarizing. I haven't found many people who feel so about the Cybertruck.
The Cybertruck looks like it was intentionally designed to look like nothing else on the market.
It's a provocative vehicle. It's radical, unprecedented.
With the vehicle's first deliveries now expected by the end of the year, it remains unclear just who the Cybertruck is for. Will it compete with established heavyweights like Ford, GM, and Stellantis, the maker of Ram trucks? Or does Tesla hope to carve out a new niche within the nascent pickup EV sector? The Cybertruck was first unveiled to the world in 2019.
It was one of these classic Tesla product reveals.
Like 100 years, the trucks have been basically the same. We want to try something different.
Where Elon Musk debuted what the company expected the Cybertruck to look like.
Famously, a demonstration of the truck's bulletproof windows failed.
Oh my God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
Tesla's Cybertruck unveiling became somewhat legendary.
Try that on, really? Okay. Sure. Oh, man, it didn't go through. Room for improvement. Just fix it in post.
From that calamitous launch, years of delays followed.
Nobody had brought an all-electric pickup to the market at that point. Elon Musk later talked about targeting first deliveries to customers in 2021. That, of course, didn't happen.
The Cybertruck's release was pushed back to late 2022, then to late 2023.
Tesla has a track record of promising something and not getting up to it, but then delivering enough surprise and delight and enough features and enough innovation that people want to experience that.
In recent months, pre-production vehicles have been spotted in public, and in July, Tesla said it had begun making pre-production versions of the truck. Tesla now expects to deliver its first Cybertrucks to customers later this year and ramp up production in 2024. Tesla hasn't shared the number of pre-orders for the Cybertruck, but in a recent earnings call, Musk was bullish on consumer interest.
The demand is so far off the hook, you can't even see the hook. So that's really not an issue.
Tesla is very confident in the volumes for the next few years to hit their initial ramps. And so I think people are betting that, yes, the first few years looks like it'll be strong and looks like it'll be, the demand will be there if they can build them.
But the Cybertruck's success is far from assured. Despite being the world's EV leader, it remains unclear if Tesla can compete in the most lucrative sector of America's automotive industry. For decades, Ford, GM, and Stellantis, which makes Ram trucks, have dominated the highly competitive market for non-EV pickups.
How important is the pickup sector for the Detroit 3? Critical. This accounts for almost all of their profitability. You have 3 players in Ford, GM, and Stellantis that account for over 90% of the market.
Another challenge for Tesla is the enduring brand loyalty of many pickup owners.
So you've seen people stay very loyal, though, because those trucks are great. And the teams inside those companies are really impressive. They are laser focused on their truck customers, and they know them deeply.
The people who build this country.
They give them a ton of different options and ability to have the truck exactly fit their lifestyle.
When Ford and GM unveiled their electric pickups, they stuck relatively closely to their classic pickup designs. Recently, Ford CEO Jim Farley took aim at Musk and the Cybertruck, arguing that the vehicle wasn't targeted at traditional pickup owners.
And we know those customers better than anyone. Well, and if he wants to design a Cybertruck for Silicon Valley people, fine.
Since the Cybertruck is such a radical departure from the conservative world of U.S. pickups, could it prove too dramatic a design to tap into such a traditional market?
We think 60% of large pickup usage is for commercial purposes. So Tesla might try to appeal there, but we think actually where it will benchmark or compete most is as a lifestyle, leisure type vehicle. Think an F-150 Raptor.
The target market for the Cybertruck looks much more retail oriented than a all things to all people of the traditional markets. The type of truck buyer that would use their vehicle for work a lot also looks more oriented to the usability of the bed, and the usability of the bed with the high buttresses and the arches in the side looks like that might impede on some of the usefulness.
With its cyberpunk-like design, the Cybertruck clearly breaks the mold of a traditional pickup. The vehicle has drawn comparisons to the DeLorean in the movie Back to the Future, the submarine from the film The Spy Who Loved Me, and even Apple's 1980s desktop bus mouse.
You look at this vehicle, this is something that you haven't seen before. It catches your attention. Whether good or bad, it catches your attention.
But I was surprised by how different it was from the prior Teslas that were very sleek and swoopy. And it's interesting because the Model S looked intentionally designed to be a beautiful vehicle that you wouldn't necessarily know was an EV, and the Cybertruck looks like it was intentionally designed to look like nothing else on the market.
Tesla claims on its website that the Cybertruck will have seating for 6, unpainted stainless steel body panels, and supposedly armored glass windows. Tesla also says the Cybertruck will have a payload capacity of up to 3,500 pounds. That's more payload capacity than Ford's F-150 Lightning, Rivian's R1T, and GM's Silverado EV. When it was unveiled in 2019, Tesla said 3 versions would be available: a rear-drive single-motor, dual-motor, and a new tri-motor with 2 motors on the rear axle. But many basic questions remain, like the price. In 2019, the single, dual, and tri-motor vehicles were listed at $39,900, $49,900, and $69,900, respectively.
At the time, pickup trucks in the US averaged about $50,000, but it's widely expected that the Cybertruck will end up costing more than that.
Today, the average price for a full-size pickup is more than $59,000.
Among the biggest unknowns about the Cybertruck are when customers will be able to get their hands on one. That timeline has been pushed back a number of times, so we'll see whether Tesla sticks to it.
Tesla, along with other automakers, has tried to spur demand for its electric models by slashing prices across its lineup. In response, Ford cut prices of the base model of its EV pickup by almost $10,000.
I think it's more important about just a continuation of hits. Is it going to be a hit? And less on the cash flow element and more on the do they still have it type of a question that investors may have.
What it's doing for Tesla, regardless of whether it's going to be well received or not well received, is draws awareness. This is a company that has done very well at drawing awareness, creating brand value without spending advertising dollars. Yes, it's very possible that the Cybertruck will not be well received, but it's also possible that people may see the Cybertruck, say, that's not a vehicle for me, but this Tesla, they're doing interesting things. I want to explore the possibility of buying a Model 3, Model Y, or the next gen vehicle, the Model 2, which we refer to when that comes out.